Hi guys and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing Superbike 22. It's time for round 4 of our career mode. It's time for the Italian ground of Misano. So here we are then in pole position. You may have seen the community post already, but we did take pole and away we go. It's a brilliant start from Top Rack, amazing start from Filiberto and Ika Lecuona. Not the same for us, but I'm going to try and go round the outside Lecuona into turn 1. Not going to happen, and we're not going to be brave enough to attack into turn 2, but there's change of direction here for 3 and pretty fast in this particular section, but we're not going to get through on the AI at this stage of the Grand Prix. Now, quick reminder, this difficulty is on 120% difficulty, and we sneak it up on the inside, scything our way up for turn 5. Didn't see that coming. Wow, it caught me off guard there, but I had to go for it. The second it sort of appeared, I just went for it, and thankfully we got on through. Now, my feeling so far with the 120% difficulty AI in this game is it's difficult to chase them down once they get into that rhythm, so we must, at all costs, stay ahead of Lecuona, Razgatioglu, and the rest of them, all on the left-hand side of the screen. They're all those riders there. We must keep them behind us because I don't think I can chase them down if they get through. If they do get past, we need to retaliate pretty quickly. You can see the massive snake on the left-hand side there. Looks like all riders are through without any hiccups or major moments for any of the riders behind. So that's pretty solid for the entire grid here in Misano. So breaking into Caro then for turn 14, the tightest braking point of Misano, as we now hold ourselves into turn 15 and beyond. Now, this part of the track here, I do struggle a bit. Going into 16 all the way to turn 1 is the point where I do lose a bit of time. I noticed in the qualifying I was pretty decent in the first sector, but when I came to the second, the third, we were really strong. And you can see Lecuona there. He is there. And will he be having a lunge? A bit of contact there from the Spaniard into the British rider. And then we go into Variante del Parco. Still with the lead. He could be sizing us up for Rio for turn 4. Not yet, we're still pretty good. There is Lecuona. I don't think we're going to get away with this one scot-free. The whole goal here is, for me, is to break free. Release the shackles of Lecuona and Razgatioglu behind us and try and get away from them. So we're going to see what we can do, but for now, playing it pretty well. Just staying in the front, using power setting 3. We might have to drop down to 2 at some point. Do need to really upgrade that in my electronics, but I've not upgraded any of the electronics this season. A little bit of engine and a little bit of framework as well, but sadly no improvements to the electronics as of yet. So coming out of Tramonto and now into the big fast section, going into Cavone for turn 11. Got to keep in to the nice and tight to the right hand side without touching the rumble strip, because these rumble strips in this track are very lethal, so do be careful. But braking quite firm now into Caro for 14, nice and tight to the apex, that's how we want to do it, but be careful upon the acceleration. You're bringing on the acceleration too early and you're going to slip and skid on that rear tyre, and I know the Kawasaki can be a little bit heavy when it comes to acceleration sometimes. So nice exit out of the Misano corner, using that rumble strip to our advantage, and across the line we are the fastest man on track right now with a 132.9 flat. So pretty solid result, but into the left-hander for turn 2 is at Lecuona there. Not yet. Ika Lecuona, my goodness, what a season he has had in our Superbike 22 career mode. Yes, we're only 3 rounds in, but he has been brilliant, right up there with the best of them. But we have just made a small mistake into Rio there, nothing to get too concerned about. We're still 0.4 of a second ahead of the factory Honda man behind us, so we should, in theory, still be okay. Tension's still very much high in this Italian Grand Prix. I'm doing everything I can to keep them at bay. The rear brake is looking very warm, and I've got to be honest with you, at this stage of the race I don't actually remember the tyres I've chosen for this Grand Prix. I do believe it was the SC1 and SCX. I don't really remember if I did change the tyres. I did consider it, I know that much, but I don't remember if I actually did. So moving on then into Cavone for turn 11, and of course guys, if you are enjoying the content so far, be sure to hit the subscribe button and even drop a little like button down there as well. So breaking into 13, a little bit wide, but we're still pretty solid. Dropping into the first gear for 14, 3.5 tenths of a second clear from Lecuona. A tenth and a little bit faster than the previous lap time, but I should imagine someone else is going to be a little bit quicker as we go wide into Misano. Not quite, I thought we were going to go wide, but thankfully we just held the line a little bit better than I anticipated. Across the line, we are the fastest man on track, but temporarily, the fastest man was a 32.713, replaced by the German Philipp Oertel at 132.679 on the Team Go 11 Ducati in third position. That's a great result from him if he can hang on to third position. Toprak's gone backwards a little bit. Jonathan Rea Bautista are fighting for 8th, so that's pretty good for us. And I tell you what, a good win here could bump us up in the championship somewhat. I don't think this season's going to be a championship year, but if we can continue to learn and continue to develop, and I'll get better at this game, potentially we could be in the running. So we'll see what happens after race 1. Now don't forget, we do have a Superpole race coming up in a moment's time, and then of course race 2 is the finale of today's video. So into Tramonto for turn 10. 0.6 of a second we are ahead of the Honda. Probably roughly the same gap, I would say, to Philipp Oertel, Toprak, Bassani, Siren, Gerloff and even Alvaro Bautista. There is a small gap just creating with that snake and the graphic on the left hand side there. You can see a few little gaps on the circuit. But for us right now, we're still improving the lap time. This is very solid. I was very quick here from the second I started in Misano. I love this circuit. Always super fast in MotoGP. And the same could be said here for Superbike 22. So the Team Pedicini Kawasaki leading the way here in the Italian rounds as we now get across the line. This should be a good lap coming in from us, and it is. It's a 1:32.308, just about a second and a little bit away from the pole lap I set with the SCQ tyre. Now, of course, the SCQ tyre not being able to use in this session as the durability of that tyre would just not last, and you're not allowed to use it anyway for race 1 or race 2. But the fastest man on circuit is the man who's leading the Grand Prix, and we are beginning to get into a rhythm here. This is exactly what I was looking at, and this is what I was looking forward to, just getting to the front, churning out the fast lap times, keeping the gap away from whoever it may be. In this instance, we got Lecuona and Oertel behind, but for the first time, the gap is about to reach a second. You know what I always say, if you get that second advantage, you break the resolve of the rider in second. That's how important it is to get it right into Tramonto, bring on the power quite quickly here, get into Cavone, get into 12, 13, 14 for Caro, and hopefully get the second advantage. The gap was temporarily on the sign of the devil there, or on 6.66 of a second, as we now go into the right hand side, just gradually downshifting into second, bring on the power ever so slightly and bring on the downshift once again. But I'm a little bit concerned. That gap has actually come down, it's not gone up as I imagined, and I'm on the limit here, so pushing further is going to really make life difficult for me. But into Misano corner then for the 5th time of asking. Across the line we will go. I don't think this will be an improvement for us. Anyone else going to be challenging that lap time? No, that's a good sign then. Another solid lap time. That's 3 lap times, maybe 4 actually. Oh, massive moment! Lecuona up on the inside for aggression. Knows no bounds as we push Lecuona back and retake the position. That was certainly not what I expected there. Lecuona very, very aggressive in that change of direction. Yes, I might have been a little bit slower, but bloody hell, ease up. Ease up, Lecuona. That was just too much. I was going to mention our progressive lap times there from lap 2 and all the way up to lap 5. Very solid performance, all in the 132s, and some of them getting lower and lower. Another massive moment from Lecuona, just barging his way through. Absolutely no respect from the Spaniard. The number 7 sides his way through. Well, hardly sides his way through, but this is sized his way through. If we can get this one done, we certainly can. Bit of contact, we push Lecuona wide, but we have retaped the position. 0.9 of a second we have lost on this particular lap due to infighting with Lecuona. Shouldn't be this way. We should be both working together to get away from the other pack, and then we can do battle. But no, Lecuona doesn't want it, and I can't blame him. I love a good battle too, so why not? So into Caro we'll go then for the 6th time of asking. To the left hand side here. Can never make me mind up whether I want to go for 2nd or 3rd gear, as I thought Lecuona was going to punt us out of the way again, but dropping it down to 1st gear for the Misano corner. Great exit there. That is exactly what we needed to get away from the Honda. Across the line we will go. Anyone else going to compete with the 132.3? Not quite yet, and there is Lecuona once again as we go really tight to the apex of turn 1, apex for turn 2, apex for turn 3. A little bit too tight this time around. We did happen to cut across it, but must Pay attention to the bottom right corner of the screen there, guys and gals. 0.2 fuel. We are under the limit, or at least over the limit now, so we do need to reduce the power at some point very soon. Ooh, where do we do that? Where do we do that? That is a question that yields no answers at this stage of the Grand Prix. I guess going into Cavone would help, because we wouldn't then have to be so aggressive with acceleration, because we could be more aggressive, should I say, because we'll have the ability of having a lower power setting. But look at us, 0.3 of a second quicker going into Tramonto there. Much, much better performance there. As we now go into the right-hand side, do we consider dropping to power setting 2 yet, or do we save it for the final lap? That's something I'll have to think about for the next one. I don't really know. It's a decision, and I can't really make it on the fly. It's difficult, so we'll decide it soon. But into the right-hand side for Caro, then for 14. 0.3 of a second quicker. This could be a 1:31 lap, and I don't think I really got into the 1:31s much with used tyres. This is going to be a very impressive lap, but we have lost it a little bit. But I'm not too concerned. I'm not pushing for a 1:31. I'm just pushing to get a hell away from Iker Lecuona. As this penultimate lap ends, another one will begin, and that is the final lap. And Iker Lecuona, the fastest man on track. Oh, forget about it. Andrea Locatelli, he's not even in the top 8. We are getting barged here from Lecuona and Oertel behind. This is getting scary, but Locatelli is the fastest man on track with a 1:32.180, but temporarily it was Iker Lecuona. So now power setting 2 for the first sector. Now for the second sector, ever so slightly, we should be able to bring on power setting 3 after this moment, going into Tramonto and then down the back straight at the back end of the circuit. So onto the brakes we'll go then for the left-hand side for Quercia. For the final time of race 1, we're a little bit wide here for turn 8. 1/10 of a second is the gap. Power setting 3 is beckoned again. We need its support, we need its services. Power setting 3, I'm asking on you again to save me from this madness of Lecuona and Razgatlioglu pursuing us quite aggressively now. Oertel gets himself back into the podium position. Never mind about that, that's a comment that's already stale, as Razgatlioglu finds himself back onto the podium. 3.5 of a second is the gap from Lecuona. Is this going to be a first-time victory for the man on your screens right now? Is it going to be a magical performance for Matt? It certainly could be. 0.4 of a second is the gap. The first victory is beckoning us. Turn 15 ticked off. 0.3 of a second advantage. Turn 16. Is it going to be beckoning the man from England? It is a brilliant performance across, well, away from the rumble strip and across the line. It's a magical performance from Matt. Misano magic here. Oh my goodness. It's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. The first victory for us on the Kawasaki in the rookie season. Lecuona and Razgatlioglu finish up the podium. So no rest for the wicked. It's now time for the Superpole race. Starting from pole once again, and away we go. Do we get a good start this time around? Razgatlioglu, a brilliant start. Look at Lecuona. He's like a bullet going into the first corner, but around the outside of Lecuona, massive contact with top right Razgatlioglu. As we now go to the left-hand side, we have got the lead once again. Exactly what I mentioned in race 1. If you skipped it, then shame on you. You missed out on a brilliant race. But the point being is I had to get to the front. I did anything in our power there to get the first position. And now this time around with the SC1 and SCQ tyre, we've got to go for it. 4-lap sprint race here in Misano equals just being gung-ho, just going for it. That's exactly what we're going to do here in the Superpole session. So now into Quercia for the left-hand side. Oh, it's all coming undone. A mistake has come from the way from the man on the board of the Kawasaki, as now Toprak and Axel Bassani are interested in bidding for the top position here in Misano. So into Tramonto we go for the first time out of 4. This time around we're looking pretty solid at the top position. So the number 11 is in the lead, Toprak in 2nd, Axel Bassani 3rd, Lecuona 4th, Oertel in 5th, Bautista in 6th, Cyrene in 7th, and Jonathan Ray in 8th position as Toprak. Wow, he got really close there. Must have carried a lot of speed from 12 into 13 there, and then going into Caro for 14. So now to the left-hand side. Once again, it looks like we're going to have to try and save some fuel towards the end of the session. Now, we can do it early, or we can do it late. Certainly something to think about during this Grand Prix, but for now, across the line, that is lap 1 ticked off. We'll have 3 more to go here in the Superpole session, so a very, very short sprint race here as Toprak gets close again. More contact coming into that second corner. We just that much slower than the AI in that corner, looking a bit weak, if I do say so myself. But now breaking into the right-hand side for Rio for turn 4. Keep it in, keep it in, keep it in for turn 5. Beautifully done. And keep it in once more for turn 6. Nice and tight. Bring on the power. We're in the clear. 3.5 tenths of a second to the man on board the Yamaha R1. Braking firm before we reach the rumble strip. Keep it in tight again for Quirchy for turn 8. Not quite that tight. Maybe I'll learn for the next time around. But for now, pretty solid performance with Lecuona not on the podium position. This could set us up nicely for a chance of maybe a treble victory here in Misano. That would be something incredible, wouldn't it? Now, I guess I'm thinking a little bit too ahead of myself because we are only in a Superpole race and I've still not yet to win this one. But coming off that first victory in race 1, momentum is an all-time high. I'm absolutely thrilled to take my first victory. I was beginning to wonder if it was ever going to come, but it came and I'm happy, so that's all that matters. But for now, dropping it down to power setting 2 just to try and regain that fuel that we need for the latter stages of the Grand Prix. I don't want to leave myself open for attack in the last stages because, of course, penultimate lap is about to start. I don't want to be waiting for a lunge from either Toprak or now Axel Bassani, who's in second place and is actually the fastest man on the circuit. A 1:32.714 for the man on the Panigale V4R. The Motor Corsa team will be loving this one. Does he smell a victory? Now, Axel Bassani, terrific rider that he is, but I'm miffed that he has the number 47 because I can't use 47. That is my number and I can't use it. So Axel Bassani versus Grant is a bit personal. I'm had to use the number 11 because of you, so I want to make sure that Bassani's not the man to beat me here in Misano. Now, of course, Bassani will be looking for that home victory, but we don't care about that for now. We are just trying to get another victory, and if we can take a sprint race, that'll set us up nicely for the pole in the next race in just a moment's time. So once again, guys, if you are enjoying the content, be sure to hit the subscribe button and consider liking the video as well. But now into Tremonto for the third and penultimate time of asking, should I say, of this particular Superpole race. Bassani 4 tenths of a second behind, and I'm not dropping down to power setting 2 for a bit. I'll have to consider it though, because plus 0.1 could mean that we might need to drop it a little bit towards the end of the race. But going into the right-hander there, just downshifting too many times as we slip it into Caro a little bit wide for 14. Oh, it's neck and neck. The Motor Corsa Ducati was almost ahead of us there, but the Kawasaki hangs on for now as we go firm on the anchors for the left-hand side for Misano, slipping and sliding the Kawasaki away into the left-hand side. We do have the lead. Do we improve the lap time? Here we do. The fastest man on track. Well, it was. Oh my goodness, so many riders getting quicker and quicker in this session. The SCQ is struggling. Might have been a bit of a gamble, the SCQ, but I don't know, we're still leading this Grand Prix, so surely it wasn't the wrong decision. But breaking into turn 4 now for Rio. Things are getting difficult to brake now. It just feels slippy and slidey with these tyres. The grip on Superbike 22 really deteriorates when the tyres do it, and you can really feel it. It's very good. I've gotta say, it's excellently handled in this game. So we are ahead in the fuel for now. We should... I say we should, I don't know, but we should be good to stay in power setting 3. But the pressure is on. Pressure is insurmountable almost at the moment, with Axel Bassani in second. 3 tenths of a second is the separation between the race leader and the rider in second. Top independent honours are both battling for the win here, so that's incredible. But going into the right hand side, dropping into power setting 2 for Cavone, we do have the advantage. Careful on the rumble strip! Oh, that rumble strip caught me out a couple of times in free practice in qualifying. It is absolutely lethal. But now into Caro for 14 for the right-hand side. Power setting 3 has been engaged once more. Now, it's down to this. Turn 15, can we tackle it? It could be like London buses here. No victories in a while, but this time they come at once to the left-hand side. Bassani is neck and neck, but great acceleration out the final corner. Across the line, it's another victory. Oh my goodness. As I say, London buses, ladies and gentlemen. London buses. You wait for ages, nothing comes, and then when you finally do come, 2 arrive at once. Can we make it 3? So race 2 is upon us then, the final race of today, waiting for the lights to go out, and away we go. Can we get the dream start? Once again, Bassani's up into the top position, so he leads the Grand Prix for the first time. Bit of contact there with the Ducati. I'm going to try and slip it back up on the inside. Oh, that's not good. That's not quite what we wanted. Can we get the change of direction for turn 3? This is what I mentioned earlier. I've got to get ahead of him because I don't know if I can fight back. We do get across and we do get the lead going into turn 4, but we ran it deep. Oh, is Bassani there? Bassani's there. Oh, this is going to get difficult. This is going to get difficult, but we'll try and fight back going in the left-hand side for turn 6. We must not give up this position. I'm concerned for the next part of the track here because the Ducatis are super quick as we go firm on the brakes. A little bit of contact there, front wheel touching rear wheel, but thankfully both men are still on board their respectable motorcycles. But Ikaleko in third as well. He's charging, so I want to keep the hell away from the Honda, but going into the right-hand side for turn 9. Can we sneak it from inside? That's a sneaky move if I ever did see one. Ho ho ho! Brilliant move up on the inside, regaining the position in the only way we know how to, but Bassani is charging. The 47 is coming. Ooh, keep away. Keep away. I don't want him charging to us in Cavone out of all the places, because if we make contact there, it's good night Vienna. So now breaking into Caro for 14. 0.2 of a second is the gap, but I tell you what, Axel Bassani is on a mission right now. Brilliant performance from him taking second in the Superpole race, but this time he wants mutter, he wants more, but so do I. I want the third victory. When you've won 1, when you've won 2, you just can only think about one more thing, and that is making it 3 wins, and that's exactly what I want to do, because I don't think I'll have a better chance all season compared to this one. But Axel Bassani's giving me nothing but hate. He's giving me nothing but trouble right now in competitive nature for Misano, but we're going to go firm on the brakes for turn 4, but we've run it deep again. Is Bassani going to take advantage? He's going to try it. He's squeezing. Oh, we just held him off. Just barely, may I add, but wow. The tight, competitive nature of the 120% difficulty is no joke in Superbike 22, and this is brilliant action here in Italy. So coming out to Querci then for turn 8 for the second time of race 3. Only a couple more laps to go in this one, and that's going to be another round ticked off for our championship. But to the right-hand side for Tramonto, I thought Bassani was going to get a little bit risky there, but thankfully he just thought the better of it at the last second. So now going up to Cavone, dropping the power down to 2 and trying to conserve fuel this time early rather than doing it late and trying to scare the hell out of myself in the latter stages of the Grand Prix. I do struggle with my nerves in holding my own sometimes, so I just want to make sure that I'm not shaking all the way through the race this time. But I do feel more calmer compared to what we did in race 1. That was certainly a very tense battle for me. Well, into turn 15 then, keep it this side of the rumble strip if we can, which we do. Axel Bassani still there. Bassani just wanting to sneak on through at any opportunity he gets. Bumping the power back up to power setting 3. The fastest man on track we were temporarily as Jonathan Rea, fastest man, and then whoa! Shout out to Eugene Laverty, the 1:34.1 for the Irishman. That's a brilliant result here in Italy for him. We're going into the Variante del Parco, at least escaping it and escaping Axel Bassani somewhat as we break firm for turn 4, keeping it in nice and tight. Careful on the rumble strip there. Hate touching any of the rumble strips in this game. It just gives me a heart attack every single time we slip a wheel on there, and especially the rear wheel. We're now bringing on the power, then going into Querci, braking firm for the rumble strip. It's 0.2 of a second, and I repeat, I cannot escape from Axel Bassani, Lecco, Ertl, Jonathan Rea. You just can't get away from them. That's why I'm so concerned that if they get ahead, they will just churn out the lap times. They'll become unbelievable. Look at Alvaro Bautista in some of the other races we've seen this season. Lecco did it as well in Estoril, I think it was. Cannot remember, but we've seen it a few times now, and I don't fancy that happening again. So power setting 3 for the long duration of this race should be okay now, since we dropped it down to 2. But I'm going to try and get as much power as we can and much fuel as we can in each of these laps. Even if we have a little bit more to burn in the end, as long as I can stay in power setting 3 for the duration, or at least for the most important parts, I'll be a happy man. We're breaking into Misano for turn 16, nice and tight to the apex, and just gradually using all of the rumble strip there. I like that one, it's pretty nice. You can certainly use it like they do in real life. Now, we were the fastest man on track temporarily, but beaten by Axel Bassani at 1:32.894 for the Italian here at home, as the Motor Corsa Ducati is desperate to get on through. independent honours for both teams right now. Grant on the Kawasaki and Bassani on the Ducati. But breaking into Rio, we've gone a little bit deep again. Is Axel Bassani there? Not yet. Almost halfway distance, and we're still hanging on with a thread. Just hanging on barely from the opposition here. Bassani's giving me everything. Lecuona's not too far behind. Not seen much of him yet. I think maybe he's just holding a watching brief as this race progresses. But still, things are status quo. Still leading. Bassani's still second. Lecuona's still third. Oertel in fourth, so he's still ahead of Jonathan Rea. That's a brilliant result for him, and considering there's no factory Ducatis in the top 8 as of yet, that's an excellent result for Philip Oertel and Axel Bassani. So Top Rack is currently top Yamaha. He's down in 7th as we'll hear the crowd as we fly past into Cavone there for turn 11, back down to power setting 2, trying to heap on to that fuel as much as we possibly can as we go firm on the brakes for Caro for 14. Still closing in is Axel Bassani. This is just so tense. We're now on to our third race of defending like a madman here in Italy. It's just unbelievable. And speaking of defending, it's time to defend again because Bassani's here. Will he have the lunge up on the inside for turn 1? Not quite, but look at those names changing on the left-hand side there. Look at how many riders were changing positions in the sense of fastest lap times. Not the positions, but you know what I mean. As Bassani gets aggressive again. Goodness me. Leave me alone, please, Bassani. And now he's just slipped up, actually. Bassani's dropped backwards temporarily as Lecuona takes second. Philip Oertel has now positioned himself into third, and I'm seeing some frame drops as well here, so apologies if the video's quality's gone to whack here, but it seems a little bit laggy or stuttering. I don't know what's happening there. I'll need to change over on the OBS again once after this one's done. But anyway, enough about that for now. Looking at the lap times, that last lap, we only lost 5,000 of a second. So keeping that same tradition of dropping down to power setting 2 in the latter stages of the race is certainly not a bad part on my behalf. But this time around, this strategy of dropping it down early seems to be working a little bit better. Something to bear in mind for the future, I would say. Now to the right hand side we'll go for Cavone for turn 11. Keep it in. Whoa, just thought I was going to get onto the rumble strip there and cause a few problems for myself, but thankfully we're still good, still pushing like a madman. So now into Caro for 14. This is how the difference is going to be. Look at the top right corner of your screen there, guys. 0.3 of a second. Is it going to get to 4? That's the difference with using power setting 3 compared to power setting 2. But breaking firm into Misano now to start lap 6 in just a moment's time. Across the line, this could put us right up there with Michael van der Mark's fastest lap time of a 1:32.6. And we do get into the 1:32.6 as well. But Lecuona, he doesn't want to give up this without a fight. A little bit slipping and sliding there for the man on the Kawasaki. Lecuona brings the Honda into the battle again, and now Philip Oertel moves himself up to second. Brilliant result from the German. Excellent stuff for Philip Oertel at this stage of the Grand Prix. The team Go 11 Ducatis are going to be loving this one. They're certainly the crew chief and certainly the team. So bringing on the power then, we are ahead by 1/10 of a second compared to the previous lap time. So the more this race progresses, the more tired we're becoming, but at the same time, the quicker we're going. So it's a bit of a conundrum right now. We are just pushing to the maximum. But into Tremonti for turn 10. Right hand side we will go. 0.4 of a second. We were up temporarily there, just to probably a little bit misleading with the way we entered the corner. But it could be a 0.2 of a second advantage brewing in just a moment. Now Philip Oertel has got into second. Looks like things have begun to slow down a little bit for their charge. Philip Oertel is probably not carrying the same amount of speed and as aggression as Lecuona and Bassani was, so they may want to take advantage of that very soon. 0.2 of a second the gap dropped down to just temporarily there as we bring on the power for 15. Get early on the brakes here to get a nice entry and then a beautiful exit coming out of Misano corner. Exactly what I want, to get close to the rumble strip, use that bit of a berm and get across the line to improve our lap time. It's a 1:32.660 for Grant, this time 0.9 of a second quicker as Philip Oertel, the new fastest man on track. That is not what I wanted to see. Philip Oertel, a 1:32.3 from the Ducati behind. Goodness me, but we've got it wide into for Rio for turn 4. Oertel is charging. Is he going to be making a lunge? I don't think he's close enough. 0.6 of a second is the gap. We recovered that extremely well. tackled turn 3 like a pro there, I must confess. Much better stuff there, but we'll now go firm on the brakes. Excuse me, not turn 3, turn 6 is what I was referring to. We're now bringing on the power out of Quercia. Penultimate lap. We have still got fuel in the bag. We could have done this to perfection, ladies and gentlemen. I do think this is the one to take the triple. 7.5 tenths of a second the gap reached to then. Ertl has to yield at this stage, surely. He's pushing into another level now for the Ducati man. We've got this one, surely. Just pushing hard ourselves, braking into the right-hand side. The bike is slipping, it's sliding everywhere, but we now brake into Caro for 14. 2 tenths of a second advantage we have compared to the previous lap time. At least we did. That bit of a wheelie there certainly shot our momentum down, but we still have a chance. We have more than a chance to get this one won and dusted here and today. But across into the final part, bringing on the power. We should be improving the lap time here. Even better, we go in the final lap, or at least penultimate lap, at 1:32.5 for the man on your screens right now. But Ertl, is he lining the lunge? Nothing. Are we still good? Turn 3? Oh, bated breath here. Bated breath, waited for Ertl to have a lunge at some point. It's going to happen, I just know it is. He can't be just sitting there content with second. It's Superbike 22. It's 120% difficulty. They don't settle. They don't care. They just go for it. So, oh goodness me, anything can happen on this final lap. But here it is then, final lap into Quercia for the final time of asking. Left-hand side will go, keeping it nice and tight. Keep your powder dry, and we should have this one won. Into the right-hand side, braking early here for Tramonto. Quite firm into turn 9, then nice and gentle for turn 10 as we gradually release the brakes. The gap is half a second. Brilliant exit coming out to Tramonto there. Giving it everything onto the fat part of the tyre. We'll charge into Cavone now. Don't panic, we've still got the chance here to going into Cavone. 5 tenths of a second is the advantage. Firm on the brakes will go for the right-hander. Brilliant camber here for turn 13. Just gradually pulling yourself into the corner. We do slip up into 14. A little bit of a moment. Hearts in mouths, ladies and gentlemen. Heart rates are increasing, but we still have the chance for a victory for 3 out of 3 here in Misano. It's an absolute wonderful weekend. It's a Misano masterclass from Matt Grant. Can you believe it? Not 1, not 2, but 3 victories. What a round. I have nothing else to say. Brilliant. I'm so pleased to get our first couple of victories on the 120% difficulty AI, because it is extremely tough. But there you go, guys. Grant wins from Ertl in second, and Lecuona takes 3rd place. And incredibly, we win the round with the ultimate and maximum amount of points one could win. 62 points for the man on your screen right now. Let's take a look at the championship standings and see how we slot in with the championship now after getting 62 points. And would you believe it? Just trailing by 4 points. Top Kawasaki honours goes to Mr. Grant. 4 points behind Ika Lecuona. Unbelievable. Wow. What a weekend. Let's finish up and having a look at the Constructors' Championship. I should imagine Kawasaki are looking a bit better now. We certainly are. 2 points clear from Honda and 5 clear from Ducati. 26 clear from Yamaha, and BMW trailed behind by 115. So guys, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable weekend. I have loved every single second of Misano, from the qualifying to the warm-up to the Superpole to the race and to race 2. Just terrific, absolutely terrific. And guys, I do hope you enjoyed this video. It's certainly been knackering for me. So like, comment and subscribe if you did enjoy. You want to see more content like this, definitely hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys, and ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.